And welcome back, everybody, to I'll Hang Up and Listen, brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room. With over 300 beers to choose from at all their locations, one of the best spots to go to for happy hour. The national championship game tonight, a Bills game. There's one, potentially two left. Vibes are always immaculate at Fatty Beer. I'm not even going to suggest you guys to go there for a Sabres game. You should if you're a Sabres fan, but I'm just afraid that you all drink way too much, just drowning your Sabres sorrows at a local Fatty Beer. I guess from a business perspective, that'd be a good thing for Fatty Beer. And of course, Buffalo Logo Apparel. Whether it's your shirts, your hats, your hoodies, they have everything over there, especially their Bills options. Absolutely fantastic. All local designs. Always shop local, shop small business. You can find them at Buffalo Logo Co. on Instagram and Twitter, buffalogo.com. You can find Fatty Beer at Fatty Beer on Instagram and Twitter, fattybeer.com. Sabres do what they do against the Kraken. Score first, blow that lead, come back and tie it 3-3, give a goal almost a minute later, and then eventually lose 6-4? Yeah. So with an empty netter at the end by the Kraken. I just don't even know. You know, this road trip coming up is supposed to be so important. If you realistically want to get yourself back into even having a chance at playoffs. You get a quick goal from Jack Quinn. That I believe was Jack Quinn, correct? I believe, yeah. Joe is a Jason Zucker. I'm sorry, I can't remember who scored the first goal. Regardless, get the goal. You give up that lead immediately. Go down 2-1. Go down 3-1. Make it 3-2, and then tie it 3-3 on a goal from Tage Thompson, and then that's pretty much all she wrote. You got it within one again. 5-4 with that goal from Alex Tuck, and then you get Levy out of the nets. You can't maintain possession with the extra attacker, and just ends up in the back of your net. An empty net goal there at the end to make it 6-4. No urgency, no desperation. Another slow start. Not ready to play at puck drop. Defensively, they looked absent-minded. The first two goals, I believe, were both shots that were blocked in front. And I tweeted it out. It said, there's one thing this organization is consistent at. It's just being the most unaware team in the world in front of their own net. It's actually impressive how little awareness there is from the entire 5-man group. Boxing guys out in front of their own goaltender, not letting guys get on the inside of you, not letting guys get behind you, and just the puck watching. It's actually impressive how bad it is. And you bring in Devin Levi because UPL's hurt. You give him a start, and I don't think anyone expected Devin Levi just to save this franchise on this road trip. He's been absolutely tearing it up in the AHL. Put very impressive numbers. I was there in their shootout loss the other night against Lehigh Valley, the Philadelphia Flyers farm team. He got the call from the Sabres as they were like getting on the bus to leave to go to Lehigh Valley for one of the second of 3 games. They would have 3 games in a row on 3 nights, which I've never even heard of. But I don't think anyone actually expect to leave out to sit here and just come in and just save the team from just, mediocrity on this road trip. But I mean, for fuck's sakes, guys, know the situation and play well in front of your own net. And they just didn't. They played awful. Guys not laying out to block shots, not getting in passing or shooting lanes, just not playing physical in front of your own goaltender. They looked fucking awful in front of their own net. It was so bad. Again, the first 2 goals just shots that were coming in on Levi, getting blocked in front, kicked out to his glove side. And, you try and make that adjustment as a goaltender. And it doesn't matter if it's UPL or Levi in that situation. Like, it's such a hard, quick adjustment to make, especially when the puck legitimately goes right to the tape of an opposing player. That's always just going to be a very, very difficult save to make. Doesn't matter who you are. I got both my dogs are in a standoff right now. I don't know if you can hear that. They're like moaning at each other. It's actually adorable. Anyways, no, it just for no matter who you are in net, that's gonna be a difficult save to make. But just not knowing the situation, knowing that Seattle is a team that gets a ton of bodies to the net and they're always going to be crashing, just not having that awareness in the defensive zone, you might as well just, why even show up tonight? Why even show up? It's I don't know. He tried to make it interesting there in the third period. I'm at a loss, and we've been talking about this since the offseason. A lot, I feel like this fan base was split down the middle when it came to their feelings of what this team was going to be this season. The narrative was tougher to play against with some of the guys they signed, the Laffertys, the Kubels, the Ryan McCalls, be a faster team, win now. And it's just so mind-blowing that you've gone through a 13-game losing streak this season. You've won 3 games in a row how many times, but somehow can't find a way to get that fourth. You constantly blow leads, 1-goal leads, 2-goal leads, 3-goal leads, 4-goal leads. You've chased starting goalies out of net and lost those games. And you haven't made a single change to this roster. It's mind-blowing. It's so mind-blowing that you would sit here and continue to allow your fan base to fucking go through with this. Is it a situation where, like, Terry Pugh's like, well, most of the Sabres fans are Bills fans too, so more than half of them are happy, and that's just the mindset, and maybe after this Bills season's over, is that when you're going to finally address this GM who just doesn't seem to want to make a move, or maybe you just won't allow him to make a move? I mean, I'm not comfortable with this GM running the team going into that deadline, but in the same breath, how are we going to sit here and say it's just on him when it's clearly an ownership issue? 13 years of mediocre, piss poor hockey, just being a laughingstock in the National Hockey League. Just decisions you make on and off the ice that the entire league looks at this franchise as a whole and are like, holy shit, what is going on in Buffalo? How are things that bad? How did you go from being a team that was, a perennial cup contender in the from the mid to late 2000s, to 2010, and just turn into this team that just you count them out by Thanksgiving every friggin' season. Every season. You mean you have teams that win the draft lottery twice. You draft these alleged franchise-altering defensemen and Owen Power and Rasmus Dahlin. You have the second overall pick twice. You go get Jack Eichel and you go get Sam Reinhart, both of which are on pace for over 100 points this season on other teams. How can you not get this right in 13 years? And now we're hearing it. 13 years, no playoffs, staring 14 years in a row, no playoffs in a row, in the face. And we're sitting here in January 20th, and you still haven't made a move with this roster. And it's not even just like a big splash trade. Like, we played against him tonight, Capo Caco, who's having a fantastic season since he left the Rangers and went to Seattle. I mean, I advocated for that move. I know he's still a young player. I know he struggled at the Rangers, but he's always been a good 200-foot player. He's always been a responsible hockey player. He's always, obviously there was a lot of meat on that bone that, you hope just hasn't been, gotten to yet when it came to Kakko and, what he produced or lack thereof in the Rangers. But, he gets a new destination, Seattle, a new set of teammates, and he's been thriving. And you could have had that guy. He wouldn't have had a choice, just like Bowen Byram. A no-trade clause wouldn't have played into it. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have played into it at all. And I don't know how you sit here and as a GM or as the owner, sit here and just continuously put your fan base through this horse shit, through this mediocre fucking circus that is the Buffalo Sabres. It's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. And how can we sit here through this anymore? I won't go to another game this season. I won't. I refuse to. I just can't. I can't. I don't know what to do anymore. I'll hit the peanut gallery, that's for sure. You guys are there for it. Maybe Sabres should jump on JT Miller. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're on his no-trade list. Mediocre is putting it nice. You don't have to make the playoffs on January 2nd. Kevin, probably. Lost puck battles, no idea of front net awareness. Being out muscled time after time, deja vu, goddamn overhyped, over talented, make crucial saves, lacks time and place, high danger chances all night. Yeah, like was Levi great tonight? No, I mean you probably wanted at least one more save out of him out of those 5 that went in. Probably the Alexiak goal, but still, like, where's the awareness for your defenseman allowing him to sneak in like that? But he did make some big saves, especially in the third period. There was that big 2-on-0 save at the end of the first to keep that game from getting out of hand early. I don't know. 1% chance of making playoffs, 13 points behind wild card leader. I don't want Adams making another goddamn decision for this team. I'm dead serious. We should always let the other team score first. I don't know, from Busby, new listener here on YouTube. Appreciate you stopping by. Hey, Duane, I've been tuning into your podcast. Don't normally comment, just like to hear what you have to say, but damn, I'm at a loss for words too, buddy. Yeah, it's how have you not made a move? How is there how have you not made a move to improve this hockey team on January 20th? We're more than halfway into the season and you haven't made a single move. We have players doing everything still. Like what? Like what? It's not gonna get any better. Oh God, man. Hurls, MIA, LA Strong, goes Bills, rest in peace, Rams. Pretty sure that's what you meant right there. From Big Fungus, the season is over. Hurls is actually in Buffalo now. He went to the game yesterday. He's out to dinner with family. That's why he couldn't be out with us tonight. I'm totally over it. I haven't watched the last 3 games. I don't know when they play next. I haven't felt this apathetic about them since before I started following hockey as a child. We should have known we were cooked when LaFontaine quit, president of hockey operations. Lose puck battles 90% of the time too. Last time we played Seattle just a few days ago, we outshot them 17-1. 7 minutes in the hockey game. Not tonight though. Yeah, there's no urgency. There was no desperation. This did not look like a team that was that many points out of a playoff spot looking to get back into it, especially when you know how wide open the Eastern Conference is. Adams built a hockey team, a bunch of has built a team with a bunch of players with low hockey IQ. And I'll talk about that for a second too. And I agree. Just even like the little things too, it bugged me. On bad angles, you have players still trying to pick a corner on like these NHL level goaltenders. I forget who it was. He had a guy on the inside. He was wide on the left face-off dot and had somebody driving to the net. And instead of just throwing a puck low into the far pad, which he could have done, he tried to pick a corner from you're scoring on that maybe once out of every 100 shots. And that's the low hockey IQ stuff with this team. Just not knowing well enough. I'm like, okay, knowing the situation, my chances of putting this puck in the net right now are minimum to none. Throw it far pad and hope for that rebound opportunity. Like stuff like that. And I agree. It's awful. Let me see here. More from you guys. From Hazy Moto, the season is over, man. It's sad to see this team is such a roller coaster. Thanks for popping in. First time seeing you in the chat. Power is being out-muscled all night. No idea of puck awareness. No net front presence. No blocking. Not being physical. There was a play, too. There was a play where he had, it might have been at the end of a shift, but still, he had like 3 steps on whoever the Seattle player was going up the boards. And you could see it. You could see it happening. And like, oh my God, he's gonna lose. He's gonna lose this race to the puck. And Owen Power, I forget who it was, but he's bigger than the guy. He could have just closed him out, used his body physically to knock him out of that race, and he didn't. And the guy just slipped through him, and there was an opportunity going the other way. I mean, it didn't end up in a goal, but like just another example, just of Owen Power just not playing to his size. Not, I just. It's gotten so frustrating watching his lack of development so far this season. I'm a little lost for words. I was hoping, being optimistic, that he would have taken step forwards this year. Offensively, the talent is there, but defensively, it just isn't getting any better. Why did we even call up Levi? Because UPL was hurt. Brooke, you should honestly think about trading Levi. I'm sure he gets a ton of value. No, you don't. I'm not even going to finish that. You don't trade him. You just don't. I don't understand why people think that's like a thing with Devin Levi. He just turned 23. You are an organization that hasn't had a fucking goaltender for over a decade. And you want to trade a goaltender who coming out of a college career where he put up Ryan Miller level numbers when Millsy was at Michigan State. And you think trading him is going to make things just better, especially with UPL, who's in year 1 of a 5-year contract. And right now he holds a below 900 save percentage. He is, I think still over a 3. I forget what it was. I think Mike Harrington, he said it on a podcast recently. He goes, against division opponents this year, UPL's goals against average is over a 5. He has not been that great this year. Has he had his moments and had his stretches? Yes. But the inconsistency with him has reared its ugly head again. And you can't sit here and convince me that he's a franchise goaltender. Because a franchise goaltender, even on a bad team, should be able to maintain over a 900 save percentage. Not consistently be over a 3.0 goals against average. And you want to trade the other guy who at every level he has played at so far this season, leading into the NHL, he has exceeded where UPL was at that point in his development. No, I'm not trading Devin Levi. I think that's a stupid idea, and I just won't even talk about it. That move isn't making your team better. It's not. And it's one of those moves that you will regret 2 years from now. When you have so many holes on this team, thinking that you're trading the 23-year-old goaltender who's honestly probably been the best prospect in your system now for 2 years and has been the only guy really outside of maybe Kulik that has performed and lived up to that potential prospect-wise, that I can look at him and see, yeah, he's going to be a good NHL goaltender when this team is ready, and they're not. They're just not. It wouldn't have mattered who you had in net tonight. It wouldn't have mattered. The team played with no urgency or desperation at all. So I'm not going to listen to that. I just won't. Team plays poorly in front of Levi, lacks confidence, poor energy, poor aura. The embarrassing Sabres have the worst management ever. Pugula will never make a move. Trade, power, mediocre, poor defensive play. Whoever hyped up Owen Power that hard before the draft is the best con artist of all time. Should have. I mean, Benier, Matty Beniers, hasn't been that great either since his rookie season. So, I mean, I guess. I don't know. Meteor is giving Power too much credit. He's been dog shit defensively. High danger chance, poor coaching, poor forward play. Did Capo get any points against us tonight? I don't know. But John Hayden did score. That's great. What happened to Penguins post-game analysis? MIA, any comments? I just didn't have the energy for it. I was actually, no, I was in Rochester at the Amerks game. I got tickets through a friend. And I decided to go watch a good hockey team play hockey. And they lost in a shootout, but it was a very entertaining game. Capo Caco with 0 points. As a diehard Sabres fan, I'm seriously losing my love for the game. ROR wasn't wrong after all. This team is an embarrassment. How can this kid thrive at every level but the NHL level? Is it him or the team around him? Or if we're still talking about Power, it's a combination of both. We could use another palm trees pest conference. This team is an embarrassment. The only saving grace is Bandits are hot and Bills are far from done. I absolutely have no words for this team because it's just a complete clusterfuck. Roster looks like they have zero chemistry or ability to develop it. Gotta scrub it. Yeah, like too often this season, somebody commented in my on Twitter on one of our tweets. He goes, "Why does it look like this is a team that's playing together for the first time ever so often throughout this season?" And it's true. There is a big lack of chemistry on this roster. The regression of our drafted prospect needs to be studied. Does Paterka even play on the team anymore? I said that out loud while watching the game. It's like, where has he been? Like, again, he's having that Dylan Cousins year, right? Dylan Cousins year last year was a massive regression. And now Paterka's, and that's where for me, it's like, that's on Kevin Adams or Terry or both. Like, still depending on your players that you've drafted and brought in to be the answer. And it hasn't worked for how many years now? It hasn't worked. College stats mean nothing. We have UPL for 4 more years. If it helps you get a top. He's not going to. You guys all want to say he stinks and he sucks. And now you think his value is a top 6. Come on, man. What are we talking about here? What team is trading a top 6 winger for a 23-year-old goaltender right now? Nobody. So stop. This organization hasn't had a goaltender for over a decade. UPL hasn't proven shit yet. He hasn't proven a goddamn thing yet that he can be a starting goaltender consistently in NHL. Look at his numbers. Please, for the love of God, look at the numbers. Because he hasn't proven shit. He's been in and out of the NHL or in the NHL for how freaking long at this point, and we're having this discussion about Devin Lee. Let's trade him. Oh, yeah. Let's trade the kid who is so cost controlled that it doesn't cost you, not going to cost you anything against your cap, but let's trade him to make this dog shit roster better because we think one guy is going to be the solution, right? He's going to be the solution, right? We're going to, Martinikas would have been the solution for this fucking hockey team, man. Can we just stop with that? Look, if you trade Devin Levi, you deserve to lose again for the next 13 years. On a team and a franchise that hasn't had a goaltender since fucking Ryan Miller. And we want to trade that guy. We want to trade this kid who's such a raw talent, an athletic specimen. You guys want to trade him. If you trade him, they deserve what they get. They do. Because there's so many other ways to make this team better other than trading the one guy in your system that has performed at a high level and in the AHL or wherever he's been. Please, yeah, go fucking trade him. Holy shit, you guys. I can't. Ugh. Brian, what's the over-under on Sammy's next crippling injury? He's been fine. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. UPL could be traded immediately, and I would not blink. Give Levi the net for a month and watch him excel. Again, yeah, too. Like people, yeah, we talked about college. But what about his AHL numbers and how fantastic they've been? And I'll take people who excel at the college level over the junior level, because in college you're playing against men. You're not playing against 16 and 17-year-olds. You're playing against guys that are 18 to 25 years old. That's who you're playing against. So I'll take players who excel, unless it's like a McDavid level player. I'll take players that excel at the college level over players that excel at the OHL or the Q level 10 times out of 10. I just will. 1% agree. You do not trade Levi. He is the future superstar goaltender. And what you even get for him right now? Goalies typically don't get a big return in a trade, let alone a goaltending prospect. That's a fact. Find me the last one who did. Darlene has been awful too. I'm starting to question the C. I'm glad you didn't do the Pens. I couldn't handle it. Levi, it's a team in front of him, man. The team. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter who's in net with this team. You could put fucking Connor Hellebuck in net on this team, and this team might barely be over 500. They're not built to win. Look at your lines. Look at your lineup. Lines 1 through 4. You have maybe 1.5 scoring lines on this team right now. That's what you came into the season with. Doesn't matter who's in net for you. And let's let me talk about defensively how fucking awful they've been. They've been trying to find a defensive partner for Owen Power now for how many years? How many years? So I'm going to talk about who's in net. It doesn't matter at this point. Need a complete rehaul from top to bottom. Fire the GM. Hire a president of hockey ops, Lindy. Hire new assistant coaches and head coach. Yeah, you kept the same You kept the same assistant coaches with a new coach. We're questioning. Yeah. When we had Miller in Rochester, we had 2 first-round goaltenders in Baran and Norton, and Hasek. Miller had time to develop. And right now, Levi needs to be in Rochester, not to ruin his confidence. Work with the goaltenders you have. Let Levi develop. Levi is talented, yet team plays poorly in front of net. Something about his confidence overhyped. Sorry, Dwayne. He's been given 3 chances at NHL level. Levi in AHL. But the point is, when UPL was 23 years old, he didn't even have the numbers in the AHL that Devin Levi is currently maintaining very consistently. He had a subpar 900 save percentage or below. That's the point. That's the point I'm making with him, is that while he's developed, he has still found ways to excel. And he's found ways to win in the NHL when called upon. Didn't happen tonight. It wasn't his fault. What goalie is getting you a win tonight with how badly they played in front? What goalie? Find me a goalie. In the NHL or in the world. Maybe 2, 3 goaltenders in the NHL right now would have gotten you a win tonight against Seattle. Come on. What are we talking about here? Owen Power makes a better door than a window. Agreed. Yeah. I don't know. I want a blockbuster trade with the Canucks that brings us Besser or Pettersson. I don't think Blockbuster is going anywhere, but that the issues that keep on going between JT Miller and Elias Pettersson, it is interesting. But here's the thing. I genuinely don't think that Terry Pegula is going to allow Kevin Adams to make any dramatic change, a franchise-altering change. He's not even letting the guy, for all we know, he's not even letting the guy make minor changes to this roster. Like, you left $8 million on the table in the offseason from the Skinner buyout, and you didn't utilize it. You didn't use it in the only year that you could use it. This was the only year you could use that money from the Skinner buyout for your roster, and you didn't do it. You just spent money on players that you already had the money to spend on, and guys like Lafferty and Zucker and Kubel. Like, this wasn't a serious franchise from the word go. They just weren't. They were not a serious franchise from day one of the offseason. Because if you would have been, you would have utilized that money and spent to the cap floor. You have Vancouver next. I know with all the drama going on there, I mean, who knows? Watch them go and beat Vancouver. Watch them go dominate Vancouver. James Reimer and that. Who fucking knows? From Joey, intern Joey. One bright spot's Cousins looked a lot better since changing his skates. The answer is in the room, guys. Why the fuck doesn't anyone ever change their skates? I don't know, bud. I don't know. Kevin needs written permission from Terry Pegula to change the towels in the men's room, let alone make trades. Nothing will be more damaging to the frame. Are we serious? I still don't understand how people came into the season thinking this team was going to make playoffs. Like I held out optimism when in moments when they played well and stretches when they played well, and I tried to, but I could never really fully get on board with this team. And we said it to Andrew Peters when I had him on. I said, I'm not optimistic. I'm not. I do believe in Lindy Ruff, but this is the team that he was given, and they're just not good. They're not good. So, anyways, guys, I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. Happy MLK Martin Luther King Day. Obviously, a day of remembrance, and the civil rights movements that he led, and the changes in the blueprint of our country that he was responsible for. So please, always take a moment to remember him and his fight for equality. And you got the national championship game tonight too. So please enjoy that tonight. I'm starting to lose my voice here a little bit, and I just can't. I can't. I won't. So. So remember, this is brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from at our locations, and Buffalo Logo apparel, whether it's your shirts, your hats, your hoodies. They have everything over at Buffalo Logo. Some of their Bills gear is elite, and always shop local, shop small business. You can find them at Buffalo Logo Co. on Instagram and Twitter. You can find Fatty Beer at Fatty Beer on Instagram and Twitter, fattybeer.com. I am Duane from Two Goalies, One Mike here with I'll Hang Up and Listen. Sabres lose 6-4 to the Seattle Kraken. Next game, I don't even know when. I don't even know when it is. I don't care. I'll be here to talk about it, though, unfortunately. So one last comment here from Chris Durr. UPL's best save percentage in Rochester was .900 and GA of 328. Which to me was not NHL caliber. Levi will be an NHL goaltender, but can't be rushed. Like Corsi said with Miller, it's like wine. Agreed. Totally agree. And we'll leave it off on that. Just remember, everybody, go Bills. And as always, as comical as it is, go Sabres.